Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Michael Griffin, and I'm the founder of ClientLook. And I have the privilege of presenting to you the latest and greatest version of ClientLook. And I'm going to help you discover why we believe ClientLook is the best commercial real estate CRM to propel your business to a whole new level. Now, I'm going to cram lots of information into the next 30 to 40 minutes, but here's the thing. Let's say you're not a ClientLook subscriber yet and you want a personalized tour of our platform at a more leisurely pace. Then all you have to do is wait until the webinar is over and then email your contact info to sales@clientlook.com. They'll show you everything ClientLook has to offer in far more detail than you're going to see today. Oh, and be sure to stick around to get the scoop on the special CCIM discount for ClientLook that I'll present at the end. Now, I want to make one important point as we get started. ClientLook is all about two things: data and productivity. We believe that by providing you with a platform to better organize contacts and activities and deals and properties, that you'll achieve unprecedented productivity. This productivity will lead to better relationships and help grow your business. You'll actually make more money with less effort. Is everybody with me? Now, we're able to pull this off because we work really, really hard to make a powerful platform like ClientLook simple and easy. Anybody can do it. You just need to decide that you and your business are ready. Then simply leave it up to ClientLook to drive your success. We've helped thousands of other commercial real estate professionals achieve success over the last 8 years. We can do the same for you. So let me show you how. Really quick, considering that ClientLook may be new to some of you, let me give you a description of ClientLook in a single line. ClientLook is the industry's most used all-in-one native CRM solution. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term CRM, this stands for Customer Relationship Management. ClientLook's primary purpose is to help you manage customer relationships in all kinds of ways. CRM is the core or the backbone of ClientLook. All in one. Redundant data entry is killing productivity in our industry. The problem is that you end up entering the same contact, the same property, the same listing into multiple applications over and over again. And eliminating this kind of inefficiency and irritation is what we're all about. ClientLook is carefully designed to leverage the stuff that you enter, the stuff that you've already input once in lots of different ways. A property becomes a deal, then a listing, then a comp, with the click of a few buttons instead of repeated data entry. But we realize we can't do everything, so we create integrations into other leading software tools. And this approach gives you the best of both worlds, and it's why ClientLook is considered an all-in-one solution. And you'll see more of this in my demo. And lastly, what does native mean, and why is it so important? Well, here's a quick story for you. As some of you may know, I got my start as a broker, just like you. I used my brokerage experience to start a tech company. I built a CRM add-on for a really popular desktop contact manager called Act. My company was called Aries for Act, and I sold that to CoStar, where I was working until I left to create ClientLook. Now, when I started ClientLook, I thought the best way was to build on top of another generic sales tool again, like I did with Act. So I looked at products like Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics. However, I quickly realized that these would require too many workarounds and hacks and compromises. So I decided to build ClientLook from scratch as a native commercial real estate app. So native means that ClientLook was built from the ground up for just one industry and is designed for only one type of user: commercial real estate professionals. It means that every feature, every field, every menu and button were created specifically to benefit someone like you. No hacks, no add-ons, and it was the only way to create the kind of experience that I knew was necessary for success. So as we jump into our demo, I want to leave you with this statistic. It's a measure of how many ClientLook subscribers renew their subscriptions. And we're really proud to maintain a 99% renewal rate for the third year running. Now, to put this in perspective, consider how your business would grow if 99% of your past clients returned to do business with you year after year. And you'd have to be doing something pretty special to make that happen. This is the clearest barometer, if you will, of how ClientLook is received by the industry. And I also consider this a testament to the kind of job we're doing. If you're not a ClientLook subscriber yet, then check us out after the webinar. I think you'll love our service. Okay, on to the demo, where we'll start with contact management, which is at the heart of everything we do. Here's the contacts module. Now, building a database of contacts is one of the most important things you'll do. You'll want to track prospects and clients and brokers and even personal contacts. And fortunately, ClientLook makes it really easy. Last year, ClientLook subscribers added more than 2.4 million contacts to their accounts. And the big question, especially if you're using Outlook or another CRM now, is how does all that data get into ClientLook? Well, to get started, all you have to do is export from whatever application you're using and send that export, typically a spreadsheet, to our support team. They can import it for you, and they're pros at helping you convert from just about any source. Most of the time, this service is entirely free. Now, day to day, you'll want to manually enter contacts, but that can take a lot of time. And I'm the first guy to tell you that a lot of the busy work that you're going to need to do with any CRM is not worth your time. You need to be focused on deals and not spending hours entering business cards and adding notes and scheduling follow-ups. So what do? Well, if you use ClientLook, then you outsource as much of that data entry as possible to our team of virtual assistants. Your subscription includes access to these dedicated ClientLook experts who are really a built-in extension of your business. Use them for all kinds of stuff, like email them business cards that you photograph with your phone after a meeting. They'll enter them for you. Leave them a voicemail after a property tour, and they log all the details of your meeting. Or even send them emails with things like listing updates or tasks that you want scheduled. They take care of everything for you and even send a confirmation email when your requests are completed. The bottom line is that your critical business information gets logged in ClientLook, but not by you. And this is one of the most important and differentiating innovations we've ever created, and you won't find it anywhere else. As we like to say, if you're not using ClientLook, then you're working too hard. So let's dig into one of your contact records now. One of the key roles that ClientLook plays in your business is to be the hub that helps you connect everything. And contacts are the foundation of all this. And believe me, you'll create the most complete contact tracking system you've ever had. So here's your client, George Adams, who is a partner at Champion Partners in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, ClientLook is really good at helping you categorize a contact as an owner or an investor or a tenant. You can also create groups like top prospects or West Side owners. This makes it super easy to quickly identify someone's role when you talk to them and to help you create targeted lists for marketing purposes. Now, if you scroll down, you'll see an expanded custom field section that lets you track anything else you might want about this person. Every field in ClientLook is searchable too, so you can instantly narrow down really big lists for prospecting and for all that marketing you'll do. Now, to help you build relationships faster, you'll want to log the outcome of your activities here. Just start typing in the big "What's your update" box in the center of the screen. Now, ClientLook also organizes all the emails you send to or receive from a contact like George here, including attachments. So our subscribers effortlessly connect millions of emails every year to their contacts. Over time, this one tab becomes the most complete summary of your ongoing relationship with someone, and it works especially well in a team environment. And again, if the idea of logging everything you do sounds intimidating, keep in mind that you'll rely on the virtual assistant for a lot of that. One of the great things with ClientLook is that you can basically relate anything to anything. There's nothing else like it. Connecting records this way exposes all kinds of opportunities that would be really tough to identify otherwise. So here in George's record, we can see all the different types of records he's connected to. For example, you see that there's a call scheduled for him. Now you can relate a contact to other contacts or even companies too. Now the goal here is to help you develop a deeper understanding of how people are related and who could facilitate introductions and accelerate deal making. It's sort of like having your own personal LinkedIn directory, and especially if you're working on a team, since you'll see the connections your teammates create too. Now, understanding the relationship between people and properties is really powerful, and ClientLook makes this easy. So link a person to an unlimited number of properties to crank up your prospecting effectiveness. You'll see properties that somebody owns, spaces they lease, or even properties that they're just interested in. It's all up to you. Now, you can also link people to comps. Now, this works great to identify lessees and lessors and buyers and sellers, and as well as other related parties that you connect to comps, like brokers or lenders or appraisers and property managers. Over time, you'll develop a complete chronology of someone's acquisition or leasing history. There's no redundant data entry either. This one contact can be linked to all kinds of stuff. And as you can see on the screen, a contact can also be related to deals and emails and campaigns and groups. Now contact our sales team and get a demo to see some real world examples of how all this works. Now here's a quick look at a context record in our mobile app. Believe it or not, the mobile app is even easier than our web app. The ClientLook mobile app is the most effective way to stay productive in the field. Now let me pause for just a minute and ask Chuck if there's anything else I should cover related to contact management.
You might want to clarify whether there's any charge for the virtual assistant. That comes up a lot.
Our virtual assistant service is, for all intents and purposes, free. It's an included part of your subscription. Now, there are practical limits. We have people who literally send us entire business directories for their town in PDF format and ask us to transcribe the data into their account. Now, we'll actually do that, but that's usually a paid service. But just assume that for just about everything you're going to do, the virtual assistant will handle that for free.
I know the sales team covers this in their demos, but you might want to comment on our integration with MailChimp.
We currently integrate email-wise with MailChimp, and we're releasing a couple of other big providers here in the coming months. Using ClientLook to manage your email marketing list is ideal because you can create groups, you can do searches, you have categories. Use ClientLook to manage all your lists. Then we push that data into something like MailChimp that allows you then to send out your campaigns. And then we show all of the campaign activity back in your contacts record. So you can pull up a person and see every email where they were sent through your connected email service and whether they opened it or clicked or forwarded it or whatever the email provider shows us.
All right. And you mentioned the mobile app, and I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that we actually have two, one for iOS and one for Android. So regardless of which smartphone you use, we've got an app that covers it.
Okay, now let's transition from contact management to activity management. Activity management is all about maximizing productivity. Now with ClientLook, you will do more, and that's possible because you're better organized, and you won't believe how easy it is. It's really common to get trapped into a sort of day-to-day activity grind. You get really good at reacting, but there's so much going on that it's very difficult to be proactive and prioritize those activities that have the highest payoff. And I've certainly been guilty of this myself. All this chaos causes you to miss opportunities. And there's nothing worse than hearing that your competition closed a deal that you were tracking. And fortunately, ClientLook helps ensure that this rarely happens. Now, the screen you're looking at is the tasks list within the activities module. This is where ClientLook consolidates everything you need to do in one place. And some of these may have been scheduled yesterday. Some activities might be long-term follow-ups that you scheduled years ago. All you have to do is simply complete whatever shows up on your list. It's like you're on autopilot. One of the biggest payoffs of this simple system is that fewer and fewer things fall through the cracks. You'll stay on top of opportunities much better, even really long-term stuff. This is one of those ClientLook features that is so simple to implement and has one of the highest returns on investment. Our most successful subscribers are dedicated task schedulers. Now, ClientLook also organizes events, which are activities with both dates and times in this calendar view. Now, all of your activities are tied back to one or more contacts and can even be related to properties and deals and comps. And if you choose, you can sync to Outlook using a couple of different methods as well. Now, this is one of my favorite activity-related features in ClientLook. And if you're typically buried in email like me, then you're going to love this too. What you're looking at is a live activity feed we call Scoop. It combines everything that happens within your ClientLook account into one simple feed. It pulls in every completed activity, every email, every file, so you have instant view of what you've done, as well as what your team members have been up to. It dramatically enhances your ability to follow up, to communicate, and to stay informed. Plus, everything is searchable. Over time, ClientLook will aggregate everything you do, and this provides an amazing resource to find new opportunities. So let's say you have a new listing that offers some kind of special feature, and you remember talking or maybe trading emails with someone who needed this exact thing. So with Scoop, you can do a keyword search to find that needle in a haystack, regardless of whether it's an email, a note, an activity, or a file. There's nothing else like Scoop. Here's a quick look at Scoop in our mobile app. And I use this all the time when I'm out of the office. I can instantly see everything that's going on across the entire company. I'll bet I save an hour a day with this one feature alone. Okay, so let me pause for just a minute and ask if there's anything else I should cover related to activity management.
Yes. Since ClientLook allows people to team up with other people in their office or even their entire company, you might want to mention how activities can be delegated to other people on their team.
Yes, activities can be delegated to other team members. So when you create an activity, you can assign it to yourself, you can assign it to somebody else, and you can even set what we call sharing, which denotes who else can view that activity on their calendar. It may be a private activity, it may be something you schedule and just expose to a team. But ClientLook makes activity delegation really easy.
You mentioned syncing to Outlook, and we get lots of questions about that in support. So I just wanted to provide quick details on that. ClientLook syncs both contacts and calendars to Google Calendar and Google Contacts, and those can easily be synced to your mobile devices, to Outlook using a third-party app, and lots of other places, your Apple Contacts and calendars, etc. So if you need any help getting all that stuff done, we've actually got some sync specialists here who will help you set that all up, so you don't need to figure it out alone. Just give us a holler or shoot us an email.
Now let's talk about properties. So if you're like most commercial real estate professionals, then you probably rely heavily on a local research service for your market intelligence. There's nothing wrong with using something like CoStar, LoopNet, or Catalyst, and I'd suggest that it's really difficult to operate without them. However, this reliance on a single source makes it tough to differentiate your service from the competition's. Especially when it comes to lead generation and demonstrating market knowledge. Everyone ends up chasing the same opportunities and reporting the same data, which is trouble. So what if you were able to create a lead generating machine that helps you identify opportunities that only you and your team knew about? Here's how you do it. You create a database of the properties that are important to you in ClientLook and become the foremost expert on those assets. You track every piece of information you can get your hands on, whether it's some characteristic of the property, a floor plan, or a relationship you create between one of your ClientLook contacts and a property. Now, while this may sound ambitious, ClientLook makes it really easy. So get this. Last year, ClientLook subscribers added more than 735,000 properties to their accounts. And believe me, if this wasn't easy to do, then they wouldn't do it. So here's how it works. What you're looking at is the property list view. So how do these properties get here? Mostly through import. However, you can always manually add properties and rely on the virtual assistant team for data entry. Now, this isn't every property in your market. Leave that up to your local research provider. But this list isn't limited to just those properties that maybe you had a listing on either. These are the properties that make up your territory. They are the properties in which you intend to become more knowledgeable than anyone. Think of ClientLook as the system of record for all the properties you care about. It's the first place you enter everything, since it's the source, the hub for all your business data. So let's check out one of your properties. Here's the Michelson, which is a big office building here in Orange County. Now, you can track anything you want about this property in pre-configured fields. You can also create custom fields to track anything that might be missing. The most important thing is that you can make this property your own. It contains your proprietary relationships, your notes, your files, your images. Now, none of this happens overnight, but over time, this will become an invaluable tool to help enrich your deal-making capability. Now, there's an Updates tab, just like the Context module, but the coolest part of a property is the way that it can be linked to other records in ClientLook. Now, for example, you can easily add and view availability here. Want to add a space for lease? Just click a button. Is this property for sale? Click a button. These processes reuse every property field you've already entered without any redundant data entry. Now, the Comps tab shows you all the sale and lease transactions you or your team have entered for this property. It's also just a matter of clicking a button to add a comp, and again, without any redundant data entry. Now, the People tab within a property is a perfect way to demonstrate how ClientLook helps empower you. Now, here's where you can relate contacts and companies to this property and define their relationship, like tenant or owner or investor. Now, pretty soon, you'll have a interconnected web of information that will start to reveal opportunities that only you know about. And the great thing is that the longer you use ClientLook, the more time and data you contribute, the more complete your proprietary picture of the market will become. Now, I would suggest that this type of data is one of the very few real, tangible business assets that you can create as a broker. Don't miss out. This has tremendous value, and it's so easy in ClientLook. And all that great property information is available in the field as well through our mobile app. You can make changes to properties. You can add entirely new properties on the fly. And there's also a really cool feature to make it easy to capture your own building photos using your phone. Now let me pause for just a minute and ask if there's anything else I should cover related to property tracking.
Just one. We had somebody ask about the different types of commercial properties that we're set up to handle.
So we cover about a dozen different property types, including all the standard ones, as well as specialty types like healthcare and senior housing and farm ranch and mobile home park. There must be 100 or so subtypes to further categorize an asset. Now, each type has its own set of pre-configured fields too. So believe me, we've probably thought of everything, but you can always use custom fields to track anything that might be missing. All right, let's talk about listings next. Now, I'm always surprised to hear about the problems that companies have managing their own listings. Some use spreadsheets, some rely on third-party research companies, entirely. Others just pin up brochures on a wall in their office. I believe that it's critical for any company with listings to maintain a list. In fact, the most complete and accurate list of their availability. And I'm not suggesting that you change your relationship with any third-party research companies because they provide a very valuable service. I'm simply urging you to take control of one of the few pieces of data that you actually produce by maintaining an internal database of your listings. So how do you do that? You use the ClientLook listings module to track listings company-wide. So imagine that you have the definitive list of your availability in one centralized repository. You know when listings expire. You know how many industrial listings you have compared to office listings. You know which brokers are responsible for which listings. Now, this may sound daunting, but ClientLook makes it super easy. And let me make one point really clear. Nothing you ever contribute to ClientLook is available or shared with any other company. This is your private data, and it is not accessible by any third parties. So here's a lease listing for the Kohl Center, Newport Beach. It's sort of an extension of the existing property record for Kohl Center that you already had in your property module. Now remember, ClientLook is where you enter all this data first. And if you want to push a listing to other third-party marketing systems like, say, BuildOut, then use the Publish tab you see on the page there. Now, like all records in ClientLook, a listing can be related to other records. In the case of this lease listing, you can add multiple spaces. It can be connected to people and deals and files and images and even groups. The same sort of connections can be made for sale listings as well. Oh, and check this out. Click a single button to turn a listing into a comp. No redundant data entry. Okay, anything that we should add related to listings?
Somebody asked if the virtual assistant could actually help them add those listings.
Yes, the virtual assistant is very frequently called upon to basically serve as a remote listing secretary, if you will. People send entire new listings to be entered, and they also frequently send listing updates. So if a space that changes its rate, you meet with an owner and they want to change the sale price, you just phone those into the virtual assistant who keys them into your account, and then that data pushes to any other third-party systems that you may have connected to your ClientLook account. It works great. Now let's talk about deals and transaction management in ClientLook. Now, many brokers have a really hard time managing everything they do with deals. Now, I'm not only talking about the challenge that you have with keeping track of your activity in emails and files, but I'm also referring to creating activity reports for clients, tracking offers and prospects. It can be really tough. There is nothing like ClientLook's deal management features. They're completely integrated with everything you do CRM-wise. Now, you'll provide a higher level of service that enables you to win business. And here's how. A deal in ClientLook is a sort of electronic file cabinet that tracks everything you do to service any type of assignment. Now, you can work on deals by yourself, share them with your teammates, and even collaborate on deals with other ClientLook users across accounts. So ever co-broker a deal with another agent in your office that doesn't share your ClientLook account? Well, we've got that covered. Oh, and the deals module also tracks your pipeline too. So you always know when deals are closing and what opportunities will give you the greatest return. Now, last year, ClientLook subscribers handled more than $10 billion worth of transactions, which is amazing to me. So let's take a closer look at one of your deals. So open a deal to discover everything you need to know about the current status. What's the last update? What activity is due next? You can instantly see your pipeline and any custom fields that you may have filled out. Now jump over to the Updates tab to see all the prospecting activity that's been happening. Scroll down to see every detail, including the outcome of property tours and phone calls and meetings. And you can also see every email you've sent or received related to this deal. So if you're working on a team, then this is a tremendous resource to consolidate the collective activity of multiple people into one single place. Now, like all ClientLook records, again, you can connect just about anything to a deal. And deals are also a really effective way to manage activities that need to get done. Here's a list of everything that's pending for this deal. And these activities can be assigned to other team members too. One of the other really powerful features of a deal is the way it organizes all the people who are involved. And this is otherwise really challenging. So these might be prospects or your client. Either way, this becomes your short list of people who can help drive this deal to completion. Now, another purpose for the People tab in a deal is to allow you to designate what we call outside collaborators. Now, these are selected people that you allow to log into this deal. So basically, you're enabling your clients to self-serve their need for information. And don't worry if your clients aren't very tech savvy. ClientLook also allows you to create traditional hard copy reports as well. So again, let's pause for just a minute here to see if there are any other items related to deals that I should discuss.
We get a lot of questions about whether there's any cost for clients who are given access to the deals as outside collaborators.
No, one of the great things about ClientLook is that you can use it to win business by portraying to your prospects that you have the ability to collaborate with them in real time. You're going to allow them to log in whenever they want using either the web application or our mobile app and see what's happening with their assignment that they've given you. None of this costs you any more money. It's a service that's free to you, and it's a service that's free to your clients. Okay, if your office doesn't have an effective, readily accessible resource for tracking sale and lease comps, then you're going to really like this next section. ClientLook offers what I'd consider to be the most complete and certainly intuitive comp tracking system that I know of. So why are comps so important? They are some of the most proprietary data you have. And among other things, you'll use them to demonstrate to the market that you have specialized, unique skills and knowledge that sets you apart. It's a key part of your differentiation strategy. And we believe that comps aren't a part of some back office admin-driven system. They should be accessible by brokers on the phone, making deals, trying to maximize the success of every call. ClientLook transforms comps into not just a research resource, but a prospecting tool and a sales tool. Here's how. One click gives you access to every comp that's shared with you in your company. So the big question is, how do you get all your legacy comps into ClientLook? Well, we can import them. In comp importing is serious business, and it's handled by our success team. The process is designed to help you seamlessly move from whatever legacy product or data source you might have into ClientLook. So contact success@clientlook.com for more information about importing comps. So let's check out a comp record that you could have in your account. Here's a lease comp at 555 Anton, and you can quickly see from the header that this was a 16,500 square foot lease for 5 years at about $24 per square foot. Now the main page gives you a complete summary of the deal. You'll see details of the space and the lease term and the expiration. You see all the related parties like the tenant and landlord and brokers. And these people are existing records in ClientLook too, which means you didn't have to rekey all that data. You simply related them to this comp. Now, sales comps look a lot like lease comps, so you don't need to learn anything new. Now, seeing all the related people is one of the more powerful features in a comp. And again, these are all contacts or companies in your account. With a couple of clicks, you can link everything up. You finally have a centralized place to store this for your own personal benefit. And it can scale company-wide too. You can turn all that data into presentation quality reports too. Just click the big Create Report button. Use our built-in templates or have us create custom output for you. And let me say again, in ClientLook, comp reporting isn't something that you have to call on an admin to do. It's so easy and so accessible that anybody can do it. Okay, any final questions or topics related to comps that I should cover?
Yeah, several things actually. We've been getting a lot of requests lately for custom comps reports. I just want to let everybody know that we do offer this service. You can get a hold of us at support@clientlook.com for more details. Question-wise, we had a question about comp searching and whether you can search on lease expiration dates.
Yes, one of the things that I've neglected to show you in this webinar, which you should get a demo to see, is the way that searching works in ClientLook. It's fantastic, and comp searching is one of the more powerful search engines that we built into the system. So you can do a comp search for, show me all of the industrial comps on the south side that have more than a 20-foot clear and 3, loading doors with a lease that's expiring before the end of 2020. So any field in a comp can be searched and combined with other fields in this really powerful, easy query mechanism.
All right, and then finally, we got a question about setting up tasks for critical dates like options and renewals.
Yes, you can set up tasks for comps just like you can set up a task for a contact. The typical way you do it is that you identify the critical dates of a comp, a renewal, an option, or anything that might be important to you. You can schedule it. It relates to the comp. You can relate it to the person or the people that you need to call, the owner, a tenant, whatever. And then you can assign it to whoever you want on your team, and that activity then appears in their task list or their calendar. Super easy. So before we wrap up, I want to tell you about one of our more recent innovations that you're not going to find anywhere else in commercial real estate technology. We've created a new department to deliver what we call success services, which are a growing list of customized training and consulting services that are delivered over the web and even on site. And some of them are really unique too. Now, the team behind this has decades of experience, and their mission is to help you maximize the value of your investment in ClientLook. And you can check out all of these services on our public website at clientlook.com by clicking the support link at the top of the page. But let me give you a few examples of the kind of services I'm talking about. So in addition to basic stuff like importing and data cleanup and data standardization, we can help create custom marketing materials like email templates that you use right inside your email system. We've got a new on-site training service where a ClientLook expert comes to your office and delivers a customized training session to your team. Or how about this one? We'll serve as a liaison between you and research services like CoStar and Catalyst. We'll handle all your listing updates and even field those pesky update requests on your behalf. And this last one is especially popular. Give us access to a list of tenants in your ClientLook account, and we'll make outbound calls to verify as much information as possible about their occupancy. The outcome of every call is logged in your ClientLook account, and it's like having your own personal research department. Now, these services are all available now, so visit our website to browse the list to see how we could help you. Okay, so let me wrap up by giving you some next steps now that you have a big picture understanding of all the amazing benefits of ClientLook. Now, if you're already using ClientLook, then log into your account and try out the new features that you may have discovered today. And be sure to check out our new success services that I just talked about. If you're not on board with ClientLook yet, then here's what I'd suggest. The easiest thing to do is simply request a personalized overview to see if ClientLook is a fit for you. Send an email to sales@clientlook.com to get the ball rolling. There's absolutely no obligation. Or you can always call us. Now, when you're ready to subscribe, we have 3 options. So first up is our free N2B plan for what we call new to the business brokers. And it's a special program designed for anyone with 6 months or less experience in the industry. And you'll get ClientLook free for 6 months, including specialized training and attention. And you even get a discounted rate after your 6 months is up. And this is our way of helping ensure that the next generation gets started the right way. Now, next, we have a month-to-month rate, which is our most flexible option at $98 per user. Now, if you're still testing the waters with ClientLook, then this is a great option. It's our highest rate per month, but you can cancel anytime. And if you do start with this higher rate, you can always convert your monthly plan into an annual plan anytime you want. And this can dramatically lower your effective rate. Now, most people opt for our annual plan since it offers our lowest effective rate. It is typically $900 per year or $75 per month effectively. However, as a CCIM member, you get a discounted annual rate of just $828, which is effectively $69 per month. Now, for a limited time, you'll also receive a $100 credit towards those success services I talked about just a few minutes ago. Remember, too, that we also offer a free 10-day trial. And you can try out everything you've seen today, and you can sign up on our website. Well, that's it. Now, thank you for giving me the opportunity to show you ClientLook. Hopefully, I've been able to help you understand how easy it is to transform your business using our commercial real estate CRM along with our virtual assistant team. And again, if you're not a subscriber yet, then contact sales@clientlook.com today for that no obligation personalized demo I keep talking about. They can absolutely help ensure that this is your best year ever. So we look forward to hearing from you, and thanks again for joining us.